You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1531. I'm so happy to welcome to the show Dr. Anna Dunaway, a nutritionist on the Equine Technical Solutions team at Purina Horse Feed. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I'm going to say right now, you might have the bestest title of anybody I've ever talked to.
It is a dream job. Yeah.
Equine Technical Solutions team. That just describes so many things. But the reason I have you on today is, as usual, Purina has been delving into the latest and most interesting science when it comes to horse nutrition. And one of those things right now is the equine microbiome. So I thought it might be a good idea to start out with, what in the world is a microbiome? Sounds like something I need to clean with Clorox.
Well, there are more pathogenic microbiomes out there that we do want to try to avoid. But in general, a microbiome just means a collection of microbes. So it's the group of bacteria and protozoa and fungi and even some viruses that exist in a certain spot. So your gut has a microbiome, which is generally the one we think about the most, but also your right hand has its own unique microbiome, and the surface of your phone has a microbiome. So it's just the unique array of all the bugs that live in a certain spot. And we are, of course, especially interested in the microbiome that exists in your horse, in their gut.
So what prompted you to start doing research on this? Why does it matter?
Yeah, honestly, as many of your listeners might know, horse nutrition tends to follow the similar path that human nutrition follows. So you might be more familiar with probiotics, starting in the human nutrition world, and they've been around in equine nutrition for a while. But we know that the microbiome has so many wide-reaching effects throughout the body. We've learned more and more about how much it impacts all of your body systems. It's not just about, the bugs digest food. It's more about, wow, these bugs interact with your immune system and can affect your total body health and even things like behavior to some degree. So when we're thinking of what area of nutrition needs more attention or where we want to focus next, that is kind of what we see as the next frontier, honestly. If, there's more to nutrition than just figuring out what % protein and how much fat should go in a bag of feed. This is really where we want to focus on using nutrition as a health tool into the future.
Oh, that's really interesting. So you're right, because we all tend to look at a bag of horse feed or a bale of hay, and we look at those three numbers that are in giant letters, protein, fat, and fiber, and think that's the end of the story. That's all we need to know, but it's much, much more detailed than that.
Oh, for sure. That's just the beginning. I think there's so much more to it that it's hard to get that across on just a feed tag. That's why we always tell people horses don't eat feed tags. There's so much more that we can impact on their athletic ability and their overall health through these other things, especially as we're finding the microbiome and how it interacts with, again, their immune system and their gut function. That, protein, fat, and fiber is boring at this point.
Ooh, there we go. Them fighting words. Protein, fat, fiber is boring. So Purina says, this is interesting stuff. We need to do more research onto it. Is this the kind of research that happens in Petri dishes, or is this the kind of research that happens on the horses that live at the Purina research farm?
Both. that's why we have to have a lot of both. So we've been on this journey for about 10 years now, and some of your readers might have actually contributed to this project, and if so, we appreciate contributing to the body of science there. We actually did like a crowdsourced data collection where for several years we have been getting horse owners around the country to do a rectal swab of their horse and send it to us in the mail, and we sequence the microbial community that is on that swab, and we pair that with all the information that they tell us about their horse, because the swab on its own isn't very interesting unless you know that it came from a 12-year-old quarter horse who lives in a stall, who eats X amount of feed and X amount of hay, who has a history of colic surgery, who is on a deworming program. All of that stuff matters. So it took years to collect enough data to get kind of a critical mass so we could even know what was normal, because you can't say that you're going to go affect a horse's microbiome or do something to improve their performance or well-being until you know what's normal. So it took thousands of samples to establish that, and we started seeing patterns emerge. And we do know different factors that affect the diversity of a horse's microbiome, or different factors that affect whether they have a higher proportion of more helpful or more pathogenic bacteria. So it was all of those samples from all over the country. It was a lot of research studies at our farm on our own horses. It was a lot of lab benchtop type work. We actually have a group of cecally cannulated horses, which are a huge game changer in terms of being able to do this type of research. And all of that put together got us to a point where we think we're finally onto something. We are ready.
You're finally onto something. And once again, horse poop at the forefront of horse science again. So if people want to keep up to date on the latest findings and get the early alerts about what's coming out from Purina as a result of these years and years of research into the equine microbiome, where do they go?
Yeah, like I said, we're finally to a point where we're ready this summer, coming in June, to share the news with the horse world. And we will put a link to a part of our webpage in the show notes where you can read a little bit of that background I was talking about that we've been working on, but also enter your email address to RSVP, and we will send you an email so you'll be amongst the first to know when we're ready to go live with the news. But then also a great thing to do is just watch our Facebook, Purina Horse Feed on Facebook, and we will be posting all the latest there.
Dun, dun, dun. I saw a quick little, there was a little tease post on there I saw today. And, oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah,
I saw that.
People are definitely wondering what we're up to. So,
yeah, it's great. Well, you guys are up to science. That's what you're up to. And that's what you've been up to for years. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Anna Dunaway, for hanging out with me here on Horse Tip Daily for a little bit and telling us all about the equine microbiome, why we should care, and how we can learn about what Purina has been up to. Again, you're going to go over to the Purina Horse Feed Facebook page, or you can just hop on to today's show notes page. The easiest way to look it up on the website and find the show notes page you need is just type in the episode number, and there's going to be a direct link, and we'll be hearing more from Purina in the coming months.
Anytime. Thank you for having us.
Well, there you have it. Horse Radio Network has thousands of engaging podcasts for horse people, and you can have them sent right to your phone. Just subscribe via your favorite podcast player. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.